welcome. So, this is, I guess, the 11th video. 11th. We're going to wait a second for it to fully start streaming, because I don't know if it actually started, but we're getting there. Alright, welcome everybody. This is number 11. I've been doing this for quite a bit. Keep on growing, keep on flowing. We're growing real fast. So, today, I think it'd be a perfect time to start working on something fun. Fun. I'm going to make the buildings in the game. That's right. I'm going to make the buildings. Alright, I'm just doing a little bit of stuff here. We call this maintenance. Just getting the stream ready to go, of course. Yeah, should have done that ahead of time. Well, I thought it did, but it didn't. So I have to double check some things. Okay, we're good. Gonna throw some links out and we'll begin. So the idea behind today's stream is that we're going to build the buildings. And I've already got a few things set up. And we will keep going and see how that turns out. Alright. Lab time. So, we'll start off the stream with what we have done. I could do a little bit of the Todoist. Let's see if it shows the everything. Let me just do that. There we go. Good. And then back to here. Great. All right. Let's do game dev, top secret title. Bam. Okay. So we've got a couple things here. We want to set up the buildings, have collisions, and all that. So what I would like to do first is place the buildings. I wrote like test code, right? So this is a 3x3, and then 2x2s. Work similarly. So press B, and then you can press another button, and it'll be like the building. I'll probably do it that way. See, it snaps into a grid. The grid is actually correct. It's this brown stuff I'm drawing that's not correct. Excuse me. Whew. So here, this is drawn a little off, but it shouldn't be. Yeah, I should be fine. So what did I do? Anyways, it snaps to a grid of 16 by 16 squares. And so the buildings are going to be 16 by 16. Yeah, see, this is what's wrong here is the brown at the top should be starting at a... it shouldn't be the way it is. I wonder if... Just do this real quick. Okay, got a copy of it running. Do that. Move it to the side. And then let's comment these out and see if everything disappears. Okay, it does. World top X, bot X, this stuff. So somewhere this world top X is getting set to some funky value. It's this thing right here. So fix that. Okay. So that's part of it. We'll keep going. Yeah, it's all these world expansion stuff. Okay, run it again. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, and we're in. Great, it's still messed up, so there's something I'm gonna have to find. Yeah, it's so weird. I guess it's the 10 here needs to go away as well. Right, so it's the width. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, so we'll just have to keep checking. Yeah. So these are off. All right, well, that's not the problem to solve right now. Ah, okay. There we go. That's good enough. So there's still some expansion code that's broken. 0, 0. Okay. Let's see if we got any more of these. Okay, great. And then this is minus 50. That's interesting. Let's not make it minus 50. Okay. Still messed up. Okay, yeah. Didn't compile. Well, it's not important yet, so we're going to leave it. Okay, and I want to have the building here. I want this to be ES key press, not down. Done. Now that'll work like a true toggle instead of a fake toggle. There we go. Easy peasy. Okay, now I need to make an array out of this building T here. So we're going to use my code generator. If you don't know how to write a code generator, hello, Vivax Dev. Hey, hey, robot smiley face. How's it going? It's been a while. Yeah, you're from way back. way back. Although you said the same thing, hey hey, with the robot face before, but if we go back ages ago, yes. Way long time ago. Doing C and Raylib now, so things have changed. Let me see here. I gotta get the chat to pop out. There we go. So I don't double stream. Perfect. Okay, great. So now I have this here. I am taking a break from my Overscope project because I couldn't find a good tool for one of the things I needed. So now I am overscoping another project. Is that overscoped other project the tool? Can't find the tool? I'm gonna make it. That's what I would do. Okay, let's generate some code for building T. So I called it building T. Is that what I want to call it? Building T is type. We want it to be a struct. That's a struct. So this will be a type. So the one that we want to make it for is building T. Building T. And I'm going to delete this. I should probably modify this program, right? So let's do this, run it. There we go. And then do one of them, and then I should have a bug in here where it cuts off and has stuff it shouldn't. So there should be something else in here like GG Atlas sprite edit should be in here. No, it's not. Okay. Well, anyways. Yeah, room and mobile entity made it in there, and they're not supposed to be in there. That's the problem. Bot site data is probably in there as well. Yes, because it doesn't overwrite the file. So I need to do. So there's OpenWrite. So Vivax Dev says, yep, because clearly me as a solo unemployed dev knows better than the people who made Docker. You do. You do. You do know better. Okay, so what is this? This is C#. What was it? I want to do a like. I'm using OpenWrite. I should do CreateWrite. Create text. Create. I should do it this way, and then I think it'll just replace the text. Building T array entity bot site data. So it didn't because I need to comment it out. Okay, run. I really think that you'd be better off not using Docker if it is at all possible to not use it. I recommend not using it. Okay, so I need to modify my template here for the structs to do type def. Perfect. And then the other one will be right here. All right, run that. MD explains triple high. All right, great. We're getting some people on today. This is nice. I hope you all like coding because that's all I'm doing. No tricks today. Okay, maybe a lot of tricks, but they're coding tricks. Okay, so this should be empty. Yes, okay, great. Gare. It's gare like hair. Like hair. Somebody else can do that. All right. Let's not have too much fun chatting. Okay, so we're adding a building object. So where is it? Building right here. And I want to put in the array I just made. And then why do I put the struct for the array in here? I guess because other things might use it. Yeah, that makes sense. So why is this wrong? Type def struct building T array. What are we doing? Did I spell struct wrong? Yeah, that's what I did. I spelled it wrong. Stupid. I didn't spell it wrong. Okay, and then we want to put in the methods. We're going to put those in the arrays here. The idea is I don't want to force the users. I thought it would be funny if it was gore. Yes, I remember being called gore all the time. And here we are. Look at that. I just generated code. So I call it an array, but it's actually not an array. It should be called like a slice. I went and did some research. Of course, I called it an array because I wanted it to be like a wrapper around the concept of an array, the way I want to use it. But it's really a slice. And what is a slice? A slice is simple. Length, capacity, items. And there's a way to go further. And this is actually what I wanted to do, was to go one step further. So I'm going to do that. So we're going to do this here, building S. We're going to do struct building, I think it's building underscore T, next item, and it's a pointer. Pointer. Bam! Then in array, you do the same thing. Next item. Voila. Yep, I implemented a slice and I'm done. Great that Golang has it though. But hey, we're doing C today. Okay, so I think I should name it up here as well. There we go. Good. Good, good, good. So now I have a very, very weak version of a buildings thing. I guess I need to add in the team. That'll be worth it. We will have fun, but gradually and incrementally, yes. Let's see. Vivex Dev says, anyway, right now I am debugging my parser. Good. Good to be debugging a parser. I had to write a parser the other day anyways. It's like a never-ending battle. It's a good battle though. Okay, we're going to jump up here. And I have my game state monster pointer thing. In here I have my entities right here. So we're just going to do fun little building T array. Buildings. There we go. Then we'll do a little bit of this. Equals that. A little bit of copy. A little bit of paste. A little bit of search. And replace. Buildings. Boom. Wonderful. Okay, game state pointer, building, T, array, gotcha. Next free is null. Buildings, building array, next item. Did I call it next free elsewhere? Let's find out. Because I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. So we have server lister uses next item. But everyone else probably does next free. Let's see, star equals. Okay, we got next free on entity, and this can now be struct that. Okay, and then here I want to call it next free, so we're gonna is not next item. That has a different meaning. So we're gonna find all references. And we're just going to have to walk through and fix them all. There we go. And I'll just compile them. Next free. Next free. Bam. Compile. Next free is not the part of T building array. Well, it will be now. Next free, compile, we're done. Great, let's jump back to here. Just do a quick look. Buildings, capacity, 5,000, length, allocate arena, buildings, whatever. Okay. MD explains. You can implement a dynamic array in C, right? Like the vector of C++, but purely in C. Yes, you can write data structures in C. There's nothing magical about object-oriented programming that you can't do in procedural programming or non-object-oriented programming. For example, if I wanted to resize this, I've already have a method here to do reallocations. And that reallocation, I have it set up to where it reallocates the size. And then in here, we are doing a copy. It's probably not a perfect memory copy, whatever. I don't really use this because I usually set everything up from the beginning. I don't understand what a POOP handler is in C#. But yeah, like, people have been doing it since the beginning of time. The inbuilt tools stuff, like, for crying out loud, like, okay, I need this code. I just went to I have like a C# project, and I wrote some T4 templates. It's just templates. You can do this in C, and I'll probably will do something like this in C at some point. But I don't think I'll use any of the mainline templating stuff. I'll probably just write my own or something like that. But all I did was write a code that generates templates. And then the output is C code, and it gives me these methods that work with my memory arenas. That's pretty easy. You know, what would have taken me less than a day to do in C# took me 3 days to do in C. And now that I have it, now that I've, for example, figured out the memory arenas, I have it. I don't need to think about it. I could redo it multiple times. It's easy. Now that I've done slices, I can easily make one whenever I need to, or reuse the existing, or generate code for it. It's just like, why do I need the language to do something for me that I can build? Now I have complete control. You see, that's what I wouldn't have had in C# land. So I'm happy with what I'm doing. All right, enough of that. Let's see. So yes, that's valid. Vivax. So now I have the buildings initialized. Let's do this. I have the buildings initialized. Not using the right method here. This should actually be the building _T array arena allocator. Bam. Now we have the buildings being allocated. Good to go. Honestly, the most powerful tool for abstractions, in my opinion, is generics or templates or whatever, because they allow you to make a solution reusable across types. Yes, so that is one thing that I really like in C# is generics. Generics they're amazing. They're a great tool. I like generics. Since I don't have generics in C, I do code generation, which is kind of like generics, except you can collapse them through. And you need to know what you're going to send to it. So anyways, back to the original question about the vectors. I'm not really using vectors because I set a capacity for my entities and buildings, and there's a reasonable amount of buildings in each game. For example, you're not going to get to 5,000. You're not going to get to 500 buildings. You won't even get to 50 buildings in this game. But you will delete and add many buildings many times. well, I have enough space with 50. I'll do 100 just to be safe. But I don't need to free memory at all because I'm using an arena. And if I want to free it, I can free the whole thing at once. When the program ends, it's just going to free up. The other thing is, like, oh, well, do I have any memory leaks? No, I don't have a memory leak here. Whenever I create a new one, all I'm doing is incrementing the length and returning the value that's here. So I return 0, but increment this to 1. If I need to reset the list, I set it back to 0, and I set the values for the new one, and I just keep going. So I have a way to keep building more and more things. So the reason why I'm using this next free thing is by having next free, I'm able to chain a bunch of them together. So then when I free a building, when I free a building up, like it gets destroyed, it will take itself, set its next free to here, to whatever was in the here, and then it'll set this value to itself. And then when I need a new one, I'll pull from here, set next free to this guy's next free, set this next free to null, and go forwards. It's just like whatever. And I can write a method to make that process completely automated, which I should do. Why not? So why don't I do that real quick? I'm getting so sidetracked. Let's not do that. I'll do it if someone begs me to do it. I'm not going to do it unless if people really care. Instead, I'm going to focus on the buildings. I need to place buildings. That's the whole point of this one. So I'm going to place the buildings, but first I'm going to draw them. So we're going to go into GM render. I'm just going to iterate across all the buildings that are active and just draw them. I guess I should probably include the size of the building, or I could have that be on a type lookup. I'll probably do a type lookup. All right, let me read through here real quick. Fun fact, Rust does generics by effectively doing what you are doing, but automatically in the compiler. Hence, heavy use of generics in Rust will bloat the binary a fair bit. See, that's the thing. You don't need it on everything. You really don't. Some apps are huge. Huge. Very big. Yeah, so right here. Yep, so we'll come here. So for int I, at some point I'm just going to have to do this. Int I equals 0, the top of this thing, and just stop making a new one. There we go. I equals 0, I less than, game state pointer, buildings, length, I++, building, underscore t, building, equals, building, underscore t, array get, and we'll do game state pointer dash buildings, comma, I, and we got it. And this is a pointer. Great. So I don't have enough info in here, so width, height. I'm going to say this is width times 16 equals actual width. Vivek says, though, of course, when the optimizer gets its hands on the code, it can help out. So while on paper it generates X version of the function, the optimizer might inline most of those if they were called only once, or it might be able to fold the similar parts together, etc., etc., etc. So a lot of people have used the idea of compilers doing optimizations and that, they hand wave stuff. And they did that with C# and Java. And then also C++. They tried to do the whole bunch of this hand waving about, the compiler will just optimize that out. The compiler will optimize that. But when you do the real comparisons, it's not so good. But you can't really pin people down for that type of stuff. They're just not willing to go deep enough. All right, let me place this building. And I also need to come up with a way to do this next part. I think I'm going to I'm going to modify the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to be controlling the width and the height of the building that we're placing. Yeah, there you go. That's what I was hoping you would say. Because that means you actually know what you're talking about. What made me say that? So Vivek says, right, of course, it's very case by case. The only way to really know is to actually profile your use case. That's correct. If you don't profile your use case, then you don't know. And a lot of people have just bought into the idea that stuff just does exactly what the people tell them to. It's like, oh yeah, that's how it works. But when you go look into it, you find out it doesn't work that way. It's the same way when someone gives you a piece of software and says, oh yeah, there's no spyware on it. And then you look and you see that it's reporting data out with a packet sniffer. And it's like, well, okay. Shame on you for not verifying, but they said it optimized the code. Doesn't do what you think it does. All right. I would like to draw a green building. So let's do that. We'll do building dot. It does have position. Great, because I was about to laugh if I didn't have that one. All right, and then we'll do building dash width times 16. I need to define the grid size because this is going to become a big problem later if I don't. And we'll make you green. No, not green. Let's do orange because orange is not a color I used for the ground, whereas green is. And then we'll do the same thing, but we'll do line. And we'll do white. Lines with an S. Okay. Okay, so I guess when we're in build mode, left click should do something different. So let's make that happen. I guess it's key 1. Oh, I must have removed that. Okay, I did. So then let's do left click, mouse, button left. Okay, we're gonna say okay, so Okay, build mode. I think it's time to actually add the add feature of the array. So I'm going to do that. It's not create. It's going to be like a get. And it's going to do what the free item does. And we're going to implement free item for all of them because it might as well be there. It makes sense. All right, so free, next free is what it's called. Goat, talk football. Hey man, what are you building? I'm building a top, kind of like a Winter Mall kind of RPG MOBA style game that will be 2D, and you'll have two sides fighting each other, and the world expands out from the middle. So as the game goes on, you get further away from your enemy. You can build buildings; they'll spawn units. You have a king unit, which one of the players on your team plays as. If he dies, it's game over. If the enemy team's king dies, game over. You win. And then the rest of the players will be soldiers or workers or archers or whatever additional classes I add to the game. Okay, so we need to go to the next free here. We have two methods that we have to add, which one is, one of them will be free the item, and the other one will be get. So I want to template those out real quick. Those are really easy to do, so free is going to be void, so we're going to be building T array free item, and then that will just be building T array star array, and then the item itself. Is that how we do it? We need both, yes. So, okay, great. And then in here, we're going to need to get the item. So, let's see here. First off, when we're freeing, that means we need to take the current item, and let's just make it be active equals false. That means it's gone. Next, we need to say item dot next free equals array next free. Then we need to set array next free equals item. There we go. So that would take the current one, set it to that one, set that one to itself. We're donezo. Next task would be building T pointer, building T array, get next free. This is going to work off the assumption that there is space. So I don't care if it runs out of space. If it does, then we're just going to crash. I don't care. Okay, so a couple things. One is we need all these to be, they all need IDs because we need to know. That would be one of the requirements, is that they have some sort of ID field, kind of like Entity has. So I can't just generate then because of that. But I'm going to add it. We're just going to call it Entity ID. There we go. I guess it'd just be item ID, but then that's generic. I'm just going to call it Entity ID, and then I'm going to call this Instance ID. There we go. And then Entity ID would be set when we generate everything. So that would be when I think, equals 100 here. So we're going to iterate through the entities. Or the buildings. So let's do 4. Okay, you know what? All right. Buildings, capacity, fun. Great. So then we have building dash be active is false. Building building type, we don't have that. Entity ID is going to be I, and then instance ID will be 0. And then what else? We don't need everything filled out. Great. All right, so now we have all of these getting their entity IDs initialized. Jump back to here. Now we're good. What this does is if I free a bunch of stuff, there's a chance that if I get the next free, it might be past the bounds. Okay, so we're going to do if result equals null. Then we want to do index equals array dot length, array length plus plus building t star, or how about this, result equals array item, how about this, building t array get, and then we'll do array index return, and then how about this, return result. Voila. Now if it is null, we do this. If it's not null, else if result dot entity ID is greater than or equal to array dot length, then we want to set array length to result entity ID. And this is typically not going to happen. And you know what? Debug break would be perfect here, which I have in here somewhere anyways. This is not a normal use case, and so if it happens, I wanna know about it. All right, so I've got get next free. So get next free, if we do get it from next free, then I need to clear out, or I need to do this. So then I would do result, I would do array next free equals result next free, and then I would do result next free equals null. Okay, great. So that's the full loop. It clears everything out. If I'm creating a new one, I really should make next free null. And then whenever I'm creating something like this, I need to do result dot instance ID plus plus, and that forces a it gives me an extra way to know that it's different. And so now I guess I have to include entity ID with each of these. Well, whatever. It's not the end of the world, but this is a new pattern I might want to use. Okay, great. So now when we left click Now when we left click in build mode, I do building, and then we do building t array get next free, pass in the game state pointer buildings, bam. So now this should get me a new one. I'm gonna make it a 3x3, which is not right, but whatever, 3x3. And then I'm going to set the position to where I was clicking. And we're just gonna make it, no, we should do it right. Let's do it right. So that means it needs to be placed the same way that the stuff down here is placed. So let me find it. Build mode, it's this. It needs to be placed exactly like this. So let's just copy this. Make it pi by pi. No, it's integer by integer. No pi by pi. Snap to grid is going to then take the mouse position. I think that's what we used down here. So let me just steal this. Great. So then we would do building width, building height, no float by float. You float by float. Okay, we're gonna do this, 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 and this. So we're gonna do the coordinates. So then that would be building position x equal chords. No, just two chords. Chords. Okay, so we're gonna take a quick look and just see what the results are. Everyone who eats pie loves pie. Okay, so it looks like I caused a memory access thing. So let's see what we got here. Building capacity. Capacity is 100. Ah, that's a number. Great. All right, let's go. Bam, bam, it works. First try. Bam, 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 bam. Grid. Grid, 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 grid. All right, great. So now that we've placed the building, that's fun. Works. It's nice. We need to do a little bit more. First, I want to have like 5 different sizes: 1x1, 2x2, 3x3, 4x4, 5x5. I want that to be controlled by, you know, just some simple thing. I'll put something in the game state pointer, and it'll just be like int building build width, int build height, and then we will do build mode. Does the entity? How does entity have build mode? I put that on. Weird. Okay, so anyways, I'm gonna have to come back and clean this up, but the point is just get started, right? So we'll have this be 1, and this one will be height. Great, done. Next, we want to go back to where I did key underscore b, and we want to do if build mode. Then we have a set of things we do. Okay, game state pointer width equals 1, height equals 1. All right, we'll just do that. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Next, we want to go to the other place that we were doing this. So this would be GM render, build mode. Nice, man. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Very, very nice to have you. Well behaved. Didn't say anything rude. Some of our unsavory viewers, a little bit different game with them, but seem like you're okay. All right. Let's go in. Press B. 2, 3. So 2. You see how it is centering around my mouse? And when I go to 3, it's centering around the first cube. That's perfect. We'll put a building there. Okay, now we need to fix the building placement. So that would be orange. Orange. It's going off the building height. So we've got a width being set on mouse button left. Here it is. Okay. Width. Height. Ta-da. All right, build mode. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. So we're going to modify this. Instead of showing red, it'll only show red if there's a collision. I can make that happen. And then that'll make it really easy. Oh, what are you doing, you stupid goblin? Got him. They're swarming me. Big money. Look at that. Is this for a game jam or just for fun? Anto 1, 2, 3. This is neither. Wow. This is for money. This game's going to be sold for money. People are going to buy it. Question is flawed, but thanks for asking. And welcome to the stream, Anto 1, 2, 3. So it's a multiplayer game. It's definitely in progress, but you can have more than one player. It's going to be 2 teams fighting each other, team versus team. I finished the 100 millisecond packet buffer finally, so next time I do a private test, players will move smoothly even though they're networked. And that's huge relief because that was a tough one, but I got it. It's easy. The buildings aren't being transferred in network code. The great thing about buildings is buildings are static. So you place and then you set whatever its initial time is, and then you can basically simulate them. You don't need to send them many updates. All right, so next step. Let's get the collision detection working, because right now we're just drawing red. And I need to know if it's colliding with anything else. And I'd want to know it very quickly. So we're going to just have to iterate through the entire list of buildings. The great thing about the beginning is you don't have to do anything because there's no collision. So let's go in here. The way I'm going to do the collision detection code is very simple. Since I have... This is going to be at the bottom of this. Since I have hot swapping done, I can actually just go in here and do it, and we'll be good. So I want to do a check on each square against all the other buildings in the game. So you actually have to do a check here. And so what I can do is I can say Boolean collision equals, and then we can just do like a check. So I'm gonna have the check be a rectangle versus a building rectangle, but I would want to iterate through all of them, and I could just do it here. I could just do for int. We could just do collision equals false, and then we could do for int k equals 0, k less than game state pointer buildings length I++. Hello, Freestyle. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, well, all the real programmers, please show up. Equals all right, we got the building here. We're gonna just do kind of a check trap, check collision thing. Collision rec. Okay, great. Building dot position X, building dot position Y. Perfect. Why are you acting like this? Because I need to do rectangle and do left and right, and then do rectangle. Great. Will this game, the game will be in 2D? Yes. Yes, this game will be in 2D. Yes, I don't have the team for a 3D game. It's funny how often the question says, hey, what is the project? Fuzzy Guppy. It's a multiplayer MOBA style Winter Mall game. Your goal of the game is to kill the enemy team's king. The enemy team's king is strong in his base. Yours is strong in yours. Whenever the king dies on either team, the game's over, and whoever has a king alive wins. The world expands out from the center. In the center of the world, where the world is expanding, they're just mobs, creeps, wild, bad guys. You build buildings in your base as the king. Those spawn units and attack the other team. You then have other players on your team who play some of those units, soldiers, archers, and they try to mess things up. The king will just build up the base. He might go into the wilderness. He's weaker in the wilderness, and so he fights in there. And so that's the idea. So I've already got the networking code in a decent place, and I'm just building up from there. Okay, let's get this going. So building width times 16, building height times 16. Great. Next, we need to get the actual rectangle coordinates, which will be these guys right here. I mean, I'm just going to copy and paste them for now. And then it was 16 by 16 for the building grid. Great. So now, if this is true, then we have collision is true, and then we can break the loop. We're done. And then if collision is true, we do this color T, and then we could just do box color. We could do green. Oh wait, let's do this. We'll do the ternary operator. Collision, red, else, green. Great, box color here. Boom. All right, probably This is the okay way of doing it. You normally don't do this type of stuff in the rendering, but it's very much a rendering thing, so I don't really care. All right, so we're clear. Let's place a 1 block there. It's orange. I don't know why it's orange. Oh, because that's what I made it. Look at that, guys. I already have StarCraft 2 level placement. Thank you. And Warcraft 2 style. So, you can give me my money now. Well, that's not how that works. Too bad. All right, so now, since this is set to true, we're going to do game state pointer. Game state pointer will set build collision equal to true, and just have that be used for our advantage. There we go. It's all about speed here. Hey, been a while since last time I saw you stream. Yes. You know what? I'll tell you how long it's been based off the last time you talked. You have been following since November 14th. And the last time you talked was January 18th, 2023. Yeah. So what's happened since then? I've had a son. Or now I have a son, and now I have a daughter. So, you know, my family's been growing in size, which is really nice and sweet. But I had to get a job in the meantime, which slowed down my streaming. So I've been getting back into it on the weekends, because now I'm starting to be able to find that time. And it's been nice. So, yeah, thank you. It's a joy. It's a blessing. Build collision equals false. Great, so now we have build collision. And now what I can do is when you do mouse button left in the build mode, come on, in the build mode, if there's a collision, you can't build. All right, let's go. And then as far as like entities colliding, I'm probably not going to worry too much about it. I'm using Raylib. So congrats on the family updates. Also, which window framework are you using? I'm using Raylib. Raylib is a open source, easy to get started with toolkit. Okay, so this is colliding, and this shouldn't be colliding. Oh, I know what's happening. All right, back to it, and here we are. Go. No, that's not right. There's a chance you can mess it up, so we're not going to do that. Okay, so where do we do this? When you do key B, we're going to say the build collision starts as false. And no. Build collision starts as true. That way you can't press the button until it does its first loop in the visualization code. So that's good enough. Jump back into here. The window framework, though, is... So I'm using C for the game. But for rendering, I'm using Raylib. However, it's important to note that this is not your typical setup. So I'm using C, but I have a game engine. And here, 1 second. I need to pull up something off the side. So we'll just focus on me for a second. I'll load that up. Almost there. And let's see. Do I have a picture of it? Okay, so I have it, but I don't have it saved to my tool. That's okay. So we'll go back to here. I'll just go to the website. So Fabian Senglard, C programming. He has like a really good C programming tutorial. Fun. Let's move this over here. Where is it? How to become a good C programmer. In here. Oh, that's not what I was trying to show you. I was trying to show you his Quake 3 code review. There we go. I'm following a engine setup similar to this. Let's get that dropped in there for later. Doom, Quake. And this architecture, it decouples the rendering from the engine, or sorry, from the module. So my game module that I'm building, I called it test build. It doesn't know how to render anything. It just makes calls to the host program, which is the engine. The engine's the one that does all the rendering. So because of that, even though I'm using Raylib, I could take it out and do SDL3 or some other rendering approach, and it would just work. I would just have to change my syscalls on the other end, which is easy. So, anyways, let's do a quick demo of what we got done in the past. I don't know how long we've been going. Let's see where we're at. I don't know how long it's been going. Whatever. I'm working on this for about an hour. So in about an hour's time, I was able to get building collisions to work. I see. So it's set to colliding now. Great. So let's just think about this. It's set to colliding now, and in the update. Okay. That one last step was to do. You have to set it to false at the beginning here. Not here, but up here. And if it makes it through this loop, then we're good to go. And I could have done this somewhere else, but whatever. Okay, build. Oh, we're colliding. Colliding. Can't build. I should be able to build here. Boom. Yes. It's like a Tetris game. I could just make Tetris again. There we go. That's perfect. Some people just don't understand how the world works. All right. Do big ones. Some here. Put a couple twos in there. There's 1 Put some of this in there. That. There we go. Good. So now you can't build on other buildings. So that's an automatic no-no. And then when it comes to units, if it's your own units, you might be able to move them out of the way. Okay. And then I could actually start making it to where you collide against buildings so you can't pass through them. That'd be nice. Yes, that's what I want. Okay, we'll add that. So I did world top here. So this is collision rectangles against world top. Now we need to do collisions against... we need to do a check collision, but we need to know which side you're colliding with so we can tell you to stop moving through the thing you're colliding with. I remember writing this before. Okay. STK update position. I guess this is the method I'm working with. So update position, you would iterate through all the entities to figure out if they're touching the walls. But you would also iterate through all of the buildings and the entities to stop them from moving. Okay. I don't like this, but whatever. That's a loop in a loop. So that's not fun. Actually, let's move that to the... we'll do a quick check here, and then we'll do another check down here. Great. There we go. All right. Let's see what we got here. For every entity, check collision rect. You can calculate the depth of collision from each side. The collision side will have the least depth. That's how I implemented that. Yes. One of the things... Yes, that is true. That is true. So I could get a collision rectangle. Okay, and then say these guys are overlapping here in the center. I can get a collision rectangle. Get the center of that collision rectangle, center this guy, and center this guy. And then do vector math and figure out which one is further away. But that won't tell me if we're up, down, or left, or right. It will, actually, because it'll tell me which one is further than the others. So I can do it that way. Okay, so what do we want here? Int I, let's just do int j. Okay, then we can do okay, so great. J. Got it. And then we could do trap, get, collision, rec, bam. Rec 1, rec 2, building. So that would be rectangle. So rectangle, comma, rectangle. That, bam. Okay, building dot pos x. Building. Pos y, building, width times 16, building, height times 16. These are just gonna, these are gonna totally mess me up. 16 times 16. Okay, and then here we want the source entity, which I'm pretty sure the way I wrote this is garbage. For this, so source entity dot width. I'm pretty sure. Okay, well, let's go see what I did. Entity type entity king underscore king. Yes, entity type king. And then here in the rendering code, we're doing a circle. And it is 5 radius based off of that point, which means that, yes, I did -5. So it's going to be entity position -5, and then it's going to be width 10. Okay. Do 10 10. Okay, -5 -5 source ent and source entity. Now that gets me the collision rectangle, so we're gonna do rectangle. Because that. Then we can do I guess I want these rectangles. So we'll do rectangle building rec equals that. And then we can do another one, which is entity rec is that. There we go. Okay, and then we could get vector building center equals trap. And then we could do building rec. Okay, great. Now I have the centers. I could figure out I drew this on paper. I could draw it on the screen just to make a point, but let's do one, and we'll do something like this. Okay. Let's say the center's here for that one, here for that one, here for that one. That means I'd have lines like that. And then this one's going to have a high width. And this one's going to have... Well, no, I mean, this tells me the more width than height. So when I could... Yeah, what you said was right, actually. Because if we take this and we come in from the right, we're going to have... Yeah. So then if this is width, then it means it's the top or the bottom, and then you just have to eliminate the top or the bottom. You don't need all this other stuff. So let's go that route. That's not a bad idea. So we have the collision rectangles. The collision rectangle is going to be Boolean top bot left right top bot dot width greater than height. It's probably the other way around, but okay. So if the width is greater than it is this one, so if the height's greater than it's left right. So actually it was correct before. So then if the width is greater, then it's actually top bottom collision. There we go. Well, I don't need it, because this right here already gets the collision rectangle. So I already have this guy here. So I already have the width and the height. And so if the width is greater, then it's a top collision, top bottom collision. And if the height is greater, then it's a left right collision. So now I know if it's a top, bottom, or left, right. Based off of it being a top or a bottom collision, I could then figure out, which velocity I need to stop. Oh, no, I don't. I don't even need to think about it. It's like not even that hard, right? So let me just look here. So we have the test vector, and that's the one we're testing against, is the test vector. So that would be the source rec. So you should use source rec on my checks in here. So instead of source entity, it should be source rectangle. And then let's get rid of this and this. Source rex dot x y, and then this should be dot width, and this should be dot height. Great. So now I've got my entity rectangle, we do all this stuff, and now if it's top bot, then I just stop my y velocity, right? And if it's not, I stop my other velocity. That one. Else that one. Done. Okay, so now this is probably worth testing. So we'll put in a nice wall here. Now, I shouldn't, get out of here. I shouldn't be able to, oh, I can't do anything right now. I've got really bad movement and everything. Okay, so let's see. We did something wrong. You got to check collision before you do it. So we want to do trap check collision rec building rec entity rec. Done. Okay, if they collide, then we can do the more detailed analysis and stop velocity. And then we can do if source entity dash velocity x equals 0, 0, break the loop. So we stop looking at buildings and move on. If here y equals 0, we break the loop as well. So we don't waste CPU cycles on something that doesn't matter. Boom. Kill this guy, kill this guy, kill this guy. Okay, we're going to spawn a building. Boom, I can still move. And I can sink into the building. Look. So my check would be, can I move to the left and right while it's happening? Yes, I can. I'm at full speed too. So I shouldn't be able to slip through. So there's something that's wrong with what I have done. I think it's this one. That shouldn't happen there. It should happen down here at the end of this loop. There we go. Run it again. Gone. Kill him. And can't get through that wall. Can't get through that wall. How'd I get caught into this one though? That's weird. I think I got caught into that because I need to see what it thinks my yeah, there's some problems here. You know, I've written this type of collision detection before, and the corners were always a pain in the butt. So let's see if they're equal. Okay, and if they're equal, then we do this. Okay, so I can get my head stuck, which shouldn't be happening. So I'm holding. I think there's like an off by one on my pixels that I'm drawing. So to fix that, we can take a look at this here, this rectangle. In the render loop. Okay, the type king. So I want to draw a rectangle, which would be entity. Okay. Yeah, it's a debug tangle. Okay. Oh man, do I have to cast everything? What is going on here? Is this capital? What is this? Pos X. Pos Y. What did I do over there, though? In here, I'm doing... Up here, I'm doing this. Genuinely, this is my new favorite stream. Wow, thank you. I am having fun doing this, so I'm happy that you are enjoying it. Both get the benefit. Okay, source rectangle. I'm gonna say that's my debug tangle. So we'll call it source rec. Take it. Bam. Okay. Click, 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 click. Get back here. So now width is gonna be 10. We're gonna do entity position X, entity position Y. And we're going to see what on earth we're drawing, because there's a problem here. Ah, man, that's probably really messed up. I probably deleted something or added a stupid semicolon. Shoot. Okay, let's just go through this. Where did I add that? Was it always there? No. I added it. Yeah, okay, I see it. Okay, so this one needs to go. Yes, gone. Okay, great. We got our source rec. Now we're going to do trap, draw, rectangle. We're going to do that, build. Great. Trap, draw, rectangle. We need to do... Oh, come on. Okay, good enough. Run it. All right, I have my rectangle. It's funny how some things have the rec and others don't. That's really weird. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Test vec. Yeah, that's why it should be entity pause. Bam. Bam. Go and run. Boom, boom, boom. Kill that thing, kill that thing. Okay. So now if we have that weird thing happen again. Yeah, so look at that. There's no way. When I get out of there, it should be just right up against it. Yeah, so that works. And that works, and that works, and that works. But if you go on this angle here, just sneaking along, and you get stuck. I fixed this ages ago too, so this is... Oh, getting in the wall again. All right, so... Oh, I remember now. You have 3 tests that you do. You do your X velocity, check if there's a collision. Then you go back. Then you do your Y velocity and check if there's a collision. That actually works. And then you do a both and check if there's a collision. If there's ever a collision, you have to undo the collision. So that makes me have to do it 3 times. But I don't have to do it 3 times. I could do it 4 times. All right, let's just get to it. So this is the update position method. So in here, there's a problem. The problem is that we are testing collisions here. We're going test vector. We're adding the velocity. I'm thinking now that I need 3, excuse me. I need 3 test vectors, X, Y, and Z. Where are you, test vec? Okay, great, you're here. That's a global thing. Interesting. Okay. Okay, great. And then we can do source velocity dot x dot y. Great. So now you just do 3 collision checks. I mean, what's the difference, right? So you think about it. You got yeah. What's the difference? It's not that big of a deal. So then I have source recs. So I could do source rec X and Y. Great. Whatever. If I need to optimize this later, we'll get to it. X. X. Y. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So now this becomes relevant in here. So I don't care about all this stuff I did in here. From here to here. This is not valid anymore. Gone. Building rec and entity rec. Oh, shoot. The problem here is that there's source rec. Okay, source rec. Is that what I'm doing against? No. Oh, no. Entity rec is that. But why would you do that? Just use source rec. It's confusing. There we go. Okay, so this source rec 1, I would do this all differently. I would do just do this. That. And then I would do... So yeah, I'm doing like 3 collision checks. Okay. We're running. Bam. 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 Boom, boom. Okay, so when I'm moving up against the wall and I press up and down, it doesn't move. Yeah. That's kind of stupid now that I think about it. So I need to be able to move up still. If I move up and down without any rightward movements, it just works. But when I hold the right, that's because I did it this way. This one. So let's get rid of that one for now. Yes. Yes, that's the problem, is it gets caught by all three. So here it stops, but if I move up, okay, so that works. Here I just run right through. That's probably because this should have been a Y. Yeah, that was all hit by the third one. MD Explains says, I have built a GUI library that mimics CSS and web graphics in C++ using OpenGL1. I even built a layout engine by myself. Good. Alright, there we go. That seems pretty good. So now we're gonna go doon 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 doo 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 do 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 do. Okay, and now we'll spawn a guy in. Bonk. He can't get through. He can't get through. He can't get through. He can't get through. He gets stuck. Oh wait, that was because I was there. These guys are just... they don't know what they're doing anymore. Do they not know how to move? Did I break all of them? They're all permanently broken? Why are you guys doing this? Do you think this is smart? Getting collided against things that aren't even there? Okay. I'll just reset. I even built a layout engine by myself that could do flex layout and grid layout and even block and table layout. Fuzzy Guppy says, that's super sweet, dude. MD Explains, you don't want to root for me. Well, I don't know if I need a root for you. You didn't need it to begin with. So why start needing it now? So here, all of the entities are being collided. They're hitting something. They think they're hitting this. So, whoa! What just happened? They went crazy. What? Do I even know what's going on anymore? Okay, well, we'll just reload that. Try again. Okay, so when I put down this building here, and then I spawn a guy, and then I spawn a guy and he gets hit by the building, all the other guys started doing it where they were stuck. Okay. I understand why you're asking now. because I don't know if what I did is really meaningful and really big stuff, or just trivial child stuff. First question, how long have you been programming for? Man, these things are all messed up. I wonder what's doing it, though. Do I have like a memory leak now? Oh, man. Yeah, that's actually the right answer. If you enjoy it, it's pretty meaningful. Okay, so test vector XYZ. I wonder where else I'm using these. This test vector. Just in here. And what about source rec? Man, update position, collisions, in the interactions. I'm setting its values though, so it doesn't matter. Here we've got target rec, source rec, and we're good. Yeah, so what do you got? You got 8 years of programming, potentially. Web dev is not necessarily hard, but it's complicated. Like time complicated. And yes, rip the bug. When something unrelated breaks everything. That's where I'm at right now. Something unrelated broke everything. I'll find it. You know what? I do a little bit of graphics programming for my day job. Default font is actually looks so ugly though. I use JetBrains Monos. That's usually pretty good looking. I like Lucida Fax, but anyways. This is very early prototype, so I don't really care about those types of things. For the connoisseur out there, maybe you could start making a game and you'll pick your font as the first task. That's not what I'll be doing. Okay, let's try to get this bug happening again. Building. Place the guy. He hits the wall. He hits the wall. He gets stuck in the wall. How does he get stuck in the wall? He gets stuck there and here, and he's all stuck now. Oof. And they're all sitting here being stupid. Except for this guy, he's just being dumb. And they all come back when they get a target. So what is it about the move state that's being broken? I think what's happening... I wonder... Yeah, I think stuff's getting like... there's like a collision going on where... Yeah, it's got to be something really stupid. Okay, let's just go through it. So these are the entities. This is the AI behavior. They're walking. We got the king player. It's not him. So it's probably the goblin thing. I've got a J here, I here. So let's see what our references for I look like right now. Let's see if I doubly declared it or anything. So let's see, where are you defined? You're up here in the loop, so you're fine. Okay, so we go through here. If they're on the same team, we leave when they're patrolling. Otherwise, you find somebody. Okay, we're patrolling. We move left, we move... Oh! Oh, yeah. No. No. This is fine. This is not a problem. So, item position X is plus equal 0.3. I see what's going on here. That's why it floats off to the end of eternity. And its velocity vector is not being updated. Even if I set it to 0, adding 0.06 to 0 is fine. So let's see. I've seen it happen on the left one. So is the left one any different than the right one? Yeah, no. Okay, well, I think we need to find out where it's getting stuck in here and print out what its velocity is. So let's just do that. Which version of C++ are you using? I'm not using C++. These are C files. If you want to know what version of C I'm using the default legacy MSVC C compiler. This is not object-oriented programming. There are no objects. There's structs. My own memory that I'm managing. None of that stuff. All right. So this is going to be the right, and then we'll do a left one. See what happens when we plop that one down. Okay, so first off, kill all these guys. We don't need the spam. Alright, we're going to have to ban Hatchling. Let's put him on the block list. I'll put him in timeout. I don't need trash-talking trolls yet. We're not at 10,000 followers and chatters. So you can reserve your garbage speak for the trash bin. Who is this TH Hatch guy anyways? What is he doing here? Who is this guy? Mods, get him. Ban him. Here, let's go look up his IP address real quick. We'll find him pretty quick. Alright. Let's see. Let's pin his message so it can be for shame. Also, object on my chin. Oh man, why do I reward this guy's behavior by chatting and acknowledging his existence? Oh man. That's my he's actually my brother, so I can make fun of him. But he doesn't know. It's not that long. The beard? I don't know how long. It's not that long though. Probably like 2 or 3 months. Alright, let's build a building. Plomp, plomp, plomp. Goblin moves. He's stuck. No, he's not stuck. What is he doing? Oh, he's gathering gold. I forgot to show that off. That's cool. So now he's getting stuck on the top of the wall. That's perfect. Alright, now let's get rid of the gold. So the goblins chase gold now. That's something you should look at, Hatchling. Watch this. I'm going to spawn on a bunch of these guys. I'll spawn one here. And I'll kill him. And then I'll send this gold over here. Actually, let me just kill a bunch of these guys real quick. Alright. So now, look. They're picking up the gold. See that? And then when you kill them, look, they have bigger gold pouches because they've increased the amount of coins they have. Alright, let's build small buildings. And then put him here. So he's stuck against... Oh, we gotta kill these other guys. They're messing up the test. The experiment was being ruined by those guys. So it says that I have minus 0.06 velocity. And then I add another one. And they have a really high velocity as if it should just work. You know, like they've reached max speed. But they're not moving at all. So that means that he's getting zeroed constantly, which is okay. But why would the other guys have the breakpoint? The breakpoint. It's got to be that breakpoint. So what do I need to do? Let's see. What do I need to do? I'm just waiting for what is it? TH Hatch goes and throws another roasting insult. We'll see. Or did he run away already? Probably ran away. All right, so we're stuck in here. It is attempting to do the velocity thing. The velocity is actually getting set back to 0 on every update. which means that something in here is wrong. It's not this stuff up here. This is a continue. So what are we continuing in? We are getting to the next entity. That's fine. I think the problem is I have a break. Yes, right here. And that's on entities. It shouldn't be break. It shouldn't be break at all. Matter of fact, it's in this loop here where you would do that check and do a break. There we go. All right. I made the bug. I fixed the bug. Boom. Boom. Now here's the thing. Those guys are patrolling and they're trying to get to their destination. And their destination is to the right. So they just stop and they get stuck. So what I could do is I could fix that, but I'm not going to. I'm happy with everything else being fine. And we could just have some stupid goblins stuck against the wall or something. I'm okay with that. Alright, there is a need for some variance on these guys' movements because they're very, like, rigid. But I don't want... Oh, you know what? The server controls all the random numbers anyways, so I could figure out the variance and movement. I could just do the variance and movement based on their spawn time. Okay, so I'm not able to walk around the buildings, which is good. I'm probably going to make a building that Oh, I built a building on me and got stuck in the wall. Okay, so let's see. We're going to try a few odd jobs, sort of, shapes. And see if I can find a way to wiggle through them. I wonder if I could do this. Let's get this up here. And if I hit it... Nope. Okay, so I'm not able to do the wacky wheels escape route where you just smash the car into the corner and then get to the outside world, which was a pretty good thing, but it doesn't work. feel like I'm playing like Simman or something. I'm just like torturing the ants for no reason. Okay, enough of that. Ship it. Okay. Now that I have buildings, I need to have buildings show up to the players. Let's see, what do we got going on here? All right. Let's see. I have been bouncing around here thinking about this. I think I'm almost done with this for now. So what I need to do is I need to. I think probably the best step for me is to start building out the graphics. So I'm gonna make a new sheet here. We're gonna do 16 times 20, 16 times 20. Get a good amount of pixels in there. Grid settings, we'll do 16, 16. Bam. Okay, so that's how big a building is. In this case, we could do something easy to start. Just so I can see what my canvas size is, I'm going to draw a rectangle here and nuke it. Okay, great. So say I want to build a building here. I could do that. I could also build one here. Oops. Let's do pink. Pink. There we go. And then we can do a green one here. And we could do like 3 of these. Okay. Okay. So I think that there is a good aesthetic that I can steal from Warcraft 2 and this guy on YouTube, Twitter. Oh, fun. Did I save this anywhere? I hope I did. Otherwise, I have to go looking for it again. Or, yeah, I do. This is gonna be annoying. How will I make this quicker? I have bookmarked it somewhere, but I can't stream the notepad. Okay, notepad's on the side, so we're good. All right, I got to take a quick look at my notes. Somewhere I had took a note of this guy's work, and I'm just going to use it as a reference point, inspiration point. Otherwise, I have to go and scroll through. I have to look for it real quick. It's so annoying. It would have been nice if it just had it. So there, that one here, there. That's not it. Yeah, it's not in here. Okay. Well, I don't think I'm going to find it quickly. But it's bookmarked. I made a bookmark and I made one recently, so actually I will find it quickly. Just give me a second, and it's worth the wait. Yes, there it is. This guy has got some good stuff. I'm not going to copy him, but I like kind of like the color palette and things, so I just want to take a look at this. It's good colors. Okay, so let's copy this. Okay, so is new palette from Sprite. Boom. Great. And we'll save the palette. And we'll call it we'll just do a game palette. Start. Load palette. Game palette. There we go. And gone. Great. So what did I do? I took his palette. Nice little starting point. Might be good. Might be too many colors. It's probably too many colors. At least to start, it's too many colors. So let's load a palette. Could load default palette. Back to this, which is, I'm pretty sure this is a Dawnbringer palette. So what I want to do is I want to just build a building. Since his stuff was good, let's also look at Warcraft 2 farm. I want to see what these farms look like and then see if I want to do anything close to it. Okay. Oh, come on. So annoying. Warcraft 2 farm. Wow. Okay, great. Here we go. This type of thing looks great. So my buildings are going to be like filling the space, and in comparison to the player character, a 16 by 16, I gotta get that block. It looks so bad. He's like smaller. He's like a 10 by 10. So like a farm would be this. It's much bigger. And I think what I could do is I could just do something like this to start. And then we could do a kind of a simple programmer art. Okay. Although I want it to feel like there's no space on the edges, so we'll just do kind of a fence post type of thing. There we go. And I'll just do a little bit of barn raising. Do a roof. Like that. Bam. Then we could do slight texturing of the roof. And then we'll thatch it up. Let's make this brown across like that. All right. And then we could do a transition color here to then something like this. And we could draw a vague pitchfork thing, maybe a shovel. Put in some stalls. That's not right. Should be, there we go. Put that across. Okay, and then we can fill one of these up with some hay. All right. And then this right here can be a plant, 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 plant. Okay, great. We'll leave it like this. There's not much more to do. I guess we could change this stuff to be dirt. All right. Great. I have a farm. Buildings. So this is really just a start. This is definitely not what I would ship with, but it does provide a little bit. This fence could look better. All right, I'm going to leave it like this. I probably could add more. I think that looks better. Okay, we're going to save this as export as PNG. Okay, great. And then I'll dump that into the game folder. Okay, we've got it. Buildings.png. Jump into here. Let's do texture ID 1 and 2. Let's see if number 2 is used at all. It is not. Buildings. Got it. Okay, so whenever I'm going to use the key number 2, that means that we're going to draw texture 2. So let's do GM render. And then we're going to render buildings. And whenever we have a 2x2 building, we're going to render it as the texture. It's not the right way to do it, but is what we're going to do right now. Okay, right here. So we're going to do if building.width equal 2 and building height equal 2. Then we're going to draw the farm, else we're going to draw this. Okay, great. And now we want to get the coordinates, which are 48,0. 48,0. They're 16 by 16. And we want to draw it at building position X, building position Y. So we'll do building position X, building position Y. And then we will do width times height, which is combined here. Build that. Start the game. Run. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, problem. That doesn't look right. So we're going to jump back in here, and building width, building height is this. Do it again. Run. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, great. So now we got all these farms. Oh, that doesn't look right. Shouldn't have been able to do that. What on earth happened there? That's a bug. How did I even do that? That's crazy. See, I did it again there. So there is a kind of a weird off by 1 issue. I shouldn't be able to place it, but it worked. You know what? It's probably just like a second of... Yeah, it just happened there too. Oh, no, it didn't. But it happened here. So I'm wondering if it's... Yeah. All right. It's good enough to start. Next thing we need to do is we need to get repeating textures being drawn. Delay the placement after placement. Yes, that's the solution right there. Make it have a half a second delay or something. That's smart. Congrats to TH Hatch. That would work. So why don't we do that? We don't need people doing spamming. Build mode. So then we would want to add a build mode. Cool. How on earth? Oh, yeah, in here, over here. Boom. Build mode. Game state pointer. We're going to want a timer and a cooldown. Float, build, timer, float, build delay timer, build delay time. We'll go set those up. Game state pointer blah. build mode. Bam. Game state pointer. That. 0F. That. So timer is the time that's being tracked, and time is the time I want. I'm going to make it that. So that's enough of a delay that it won't happen, and it makes sense. You shouldn't be able to just spam a million walls. That doesn't make sense. So we're going to go into the game loop, game update loop, and we're just going to do this. Build delay timer. No. Mouse button left. Here's where it matters. So we get in here, and I guess we'd have to add another Boolean. Build delay. And we'll fill that out in a second. Okay, great. Okay, boom. Build delay on. Great. Next step. Update, GM update, bam, go in here. Do this. If build delay, game state pointer, that timer, build delay timer plus equal delta time, if game state pointer build delay timer greater than game state pointer build delay time game state pointer build delay equals false. Don't blink. You'll miss it. Okay, we're going to build these guys now. And just to fully test this out, we'll go back to this. Jump back. Go back here. We'll make this 5 seconds. Bam. Boom. Can't do anything. Can't do anything. Ah, it's taking forever. Boom. Built something. Great. All right. Proof of concept done. Works. Super long, slow works. Click. Click. Spam. We're going to try to build stuff quickly again. And we can, but we just can't build them quick enough to trip up. Oh, happened right there. Okay, great. So what we have learned is that there is a way, even with that delay, to trigger some sort of like dragging mechanism, because we did a double. Here's the other thing. You're not going to be able to build 2 farms anyway, so let's do it even more. Dinner's ready, guys. This means I'm out of here. Y'all have to deal with being hungry, whereas I do not. Sorry, folks. Okay, this is slow enough that it works. I still think the stack thing can happen, and it did. I think it's something to do with... I think I'm checking against the mouse. It's passing a check, but then the mouse moves and it uses the mouse's positions. Anyways, I would say this is good enough for today. Thank you for watching. Buildings are starting. I imagine next week I'll actually have stuff spawning onto them, so that'll be fun. Once I do that, I need to then figure out what I want to sync across the network to the player on the other side. Once I have that, then you can see them. Then I can have it to where you can attack them, and then we can have the beginning of an actual gameplay loop. All right, guys, I'm going to try to keep streaming here and there throughout the week. It's all dependent on life stuff. But hope to see you all again. I'll probably be consistently doing Saturdays. Fuzzy Guppy says, awesome stream, man. Really enjoyed. Well, I'm really happy you liked it. I'll be back, of course, probably Saturday, maybe Monday through Friday. I'll have something going on. Y'all have a good one. See ya. Bye. And you know the routine. Like, subscribe, follow, discount, pay the paywall, up, down, left, right.